Heyo, this is a special video, a shout out to Chris, the Atari Creep. Um, Chris, sir, I know normally I just call you the Creepster. I'm using your name here because your last video about ET, which, hold on, I forgot something. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. But, so this is in reference to ET. Now, I made a mention in a previous video that I was gifted a bag which appeared to be an old Atari from my mother-in-law. And you, sir, encouraged me to not leave people hanging. Now, I don't know if you caught that video, but it's an old Atari 2600. There's actually like 30 some odd games to it. Most of them I don't know because I've never owned an Atari before. But I got 2 copies of ET. Now, I've also left a comment in one of your other videos that I remember this game from my childhood, and as a kid, I never got out of the pit. But I didn't really dislike the game, and I can't say I was a huge fan of the game either. It was just kind of like it was a game to play. And it's just, that's the one thing I remember was I always fell in the pit. I never got out of the pit. I do remember the movie. The movie was great. So, what's the point of this? You did a great kindness to my daughter, in particular, by asking a specific question of Mr. Tellerico, and it really made her day and her birthday, and it made me feel good too, because it was a moment that I'm like, 2 guys that I respect. We're talking about a very obscure little video of mine, and just that's nice, right? So your recent video, sir, was talking about the complexity of actually getting the title and being a contributor to it. Now, personally, from where I'm sitting and how I've seen you talk about it, I have to agree with Mr. Tellerico. I don't think there would be a better person to be involved in that project. But what's the point of this video? So me. Here's the short story. In my youth, I learned how easy it was to quit projects. I never really committed to things that I wanted to do, never really had the support structure to say, hey, you can do what you want to do. Everyone thought I should be doing something else, like being a lawyer. I found out case law was boring. That being said. And I got to my younger adult age, right before my wife, and I stuck with menial jobs and just kind of went cruising day by day, hanging out with buddies, hitting the arcade, and really squandering my time. It wasn't until I got married, and I believe I've said this before in a different video, it wasn't until I got married that I realized that this was the point of no return. This is the time to start taking things seriously, because it's no longer just me entertaining myself and my well-being, but I was now responsible for a family. And 7 to 8 years later, we've been through a heck of a lot of stuff, and I realized that I had let my family down in a lot of different ways. And one of the ways was that I was doing the minimum I could because it was the safe bet to provide. And I became convinced that I was setting a poor example for my kids, and I needed to do better, and that there was more I could do for my family. That was the real motivation for my channel, Two Tales, actually. It's a dedication to imagination and adventure, because it's also an outlet for me to pursue goals and things I've always wanted to do. Now, what does any of that have to do with you, sir? It's simply this. I really hope that Intellivision can secure ET. I think that would be an adventure for you, and in a lot of ways, where most people don't ever see these sort of things, a potential dream fulfilled, so to speak. So I hope that project for Intellivision goes through, and as such, I hope that you get a chance to be a part of something that's truly, truly great, because that's what this channel is about. And some people just deserve to, maybe that's the wrong word. Some people really should hear a little bit of encouragement to say, hey, go be a go-getter. And if everything works out, I have no doubt that an Amico version of ET would be knocked out of the park, because I'd be one of the people that would pick the game up. Absolutely. All the best, Creepster. Be foxy.